Hello, hello. So I am perfectly on time today, which is never happens, half the time. So I'm gonna wait, give it a few, see who comes on, and then we're gonna get started. So again, I'm just gonna give it a few, so sorry for the silence for a few, as everyone starts coming on. Hello, hello. I hope you guys are ready. We're gonna have some chaotic fun. Yeah. It's not gonna be hard, but it's gonna be fun. A little do-it-yourself, but do-it-yourself in the fashion of whatever you have in the apothecary. That's what we're gonna do today. That came out really nice tonight. Aw, thanks! I thought that I would look the part tonight since we're doing a little bit of a golden, I call it dragon, but not everyone zens with the dragons, so I took the dragon part out for you guys, but for me, I utilize the dragons to create something that regards with wealth and prosperity as an oil, and it works. This stuff really works. I've used it, I make it, it's my very first blend, so the secret's not really a secret to me. It ain't anything crazy, and it's literally what you have in your apothecary, and that's what makes it amazing. The biggest thing about that is it doesn't require anything crazy, like special, any rare herb that you have to send for. You can literally look in your cabinets and go, this is pretty, this is golden, this is pretty, that works for wealth. And that's what all of it is really gonna like come from tonight. It's not my secret recipe, it's not anything of, I had to do a lot of research for. It was, what do I have that works and can I use it, and I'm going to use it. So that's what I did. Hey everyone. Oh, look, I got my little, finally got these babies in. My little hairpins with the dragons, as you can see. Like I said, I went all dragon just for tonight, even though everyone zens with the dragon. So this oil isn't about that. I throw them in there anytime I work with wealth because symbolically they do represent wealth and prosperity and luck and good fortune and treasures. So that's why I always say that. But you could use whatever you want. And it doesn't even, and this is something that's just going to be kind of chill just from me to you, is just so you know, you don't always have to go, okay, what herb, what flower represents wealth, prosperity, and luck? Okay, who cares? If you find a pretty flower like, I don't know, calendulas, and they're yellow, and yellow represents wealth, gold flakes represent wealth, put it in. Why not? Who's to say it's wrong? Who was the one that was like, this herb has to represent only this? Sometimes you just don't got it in that area in your apothecary. You just got to use what you have. That's what tonight's going to be about. It's about what you have in yours. Now, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use calendula, whole flower, and the petals on it. I'm going to use honeysuckle, because I love honeysuckle. And it just gives me that, like, I'm ready to go kind of vibe. Granted, it does represent luck, honeysuckle. But you don't have, it's not like a big major thing. Then you're going to use, or you can use chamomile. Chamomile is a state of relaxing, right? But it also represents prosperity. Then cinnamon, we already all know cinnamon is a huge luck type of herb, bark, whatever you want to call it. And then ginger. Ginger does represent prosperity and wealth. Huge wealth. But I'm not going to lie, if you look at them, which I will show you what they all, kind of look at and stuff, they're all really pretty and golden. or tanned in some form except for the cinnamon, but the cinnamon gives a pretty brown look. I don't know, you know, some copper pieces used to be worth some money too back in the day. Just saying, just saying. So I really just want all the newer witches out there to realize is you don't have to have a very specific herb to create something so powerful, so magical. I bought these oils from a witch, demonologist, I don't know what you would call her. And then they were supposed to be charged with that style of magic. And when I looked at them, I'm like, unless that's the magic part, why did I pay so much money for it? When I look at my oils that I make and create for me and others, and I feel more with it. It's all about intent. It's all about what you want, okay? It's your energy, not necessarily my energy. So here's why I say that, is because I took the oils that I got from this woman, and I used them. I use them on my candles. I anoint the candles with them. I burn them for the ritual form that she wants, 6 minutes, all that fun stuff. Cool. Does it work? Yes. Why does it work? Not because of her. Not because of what she charged it with, but because of what I did with it. And that's the key fact. I know I'm powerful. You should know you're powerful. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner witch or an intermediate witch to an advanced witch to one that's been practicing in past lives that followed into this life. It is what you put into it and how you feel about whatever you're creating, whatever you're drinking. It's the same thing with like the teas that I create and sell and give to people. I make special blends sometimes for my boxes and I put them in and I never make them again, but I make it for that person. And then I'll get that, they'll come back and they'll be like, oh my gosh, that was so amazing. What did you do to it? I didn't do anything. I put some intent into it and what the herbs represent in my mind. But you did all the magic. You did all the power. Key factor is you and your energy and your magic and what you can do. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just the tool, but you're the actual charging. I'm not going to say unit, but charging source. Okay? So think of it that way. Oh, girl, we just started. Don't even worry about that. Hey, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thanks, guys. I wanted to look pretty for you guys. I wanted, and I know sometimes it feels a little aesthetic, being all fancy-dancy, but I really just wanted to feel it today. And I really love, and I wanted to show off my new hairpins. Not gonna lie, the dragons with the little tassels. Oh, I got so many more, so you'll see them in all my other lives. I know. But yes, like Rachel said, have confidence in your craft. Know that you might not feel it, but it is there. And at a starting point, it helps. All right. So, here's the key for this one. Use whatever you want. Yes, I'll give you some things that if you want to use what I use, go for it. Maybe not everyone has honeysuckle. Maybe not everyone has calendula. Maybe not everyone has ginger or cinnamon, which most of us have cinnamon. But just saying, like, not everyone might have it. So use whatever you want. Use passion flower if you feel like it. Use a bark if you feel like it. Go off a color. Look at your apothecary and go, what is gold, tan, brownish, silver looking? Like honeysuckle to me is that silver and gold kind of blend. Use whatever you want. Salt. Salt's great. Maybe you have gold flakes, which I actually have some gold flakes. Do you want? I can show them to you. I also have silver flakes too. Metal flakes also. Put those in there if you want. Just know if you put stuff like that, don't put it on your body. Big, don't put it on your body. Just put it on your candles and anoint that way. Now, another key thing that I want to say is you don't have to use expensive carrier oils like the sunflower carrier oil or the avocado oil or grapeseed oil or the hemp oil or the castor oil. You don't have to use the expensive carrier oils for something as simple as creating something for intent and based off intent. You can do something as magical as this, and you can buy it at any store. Voila. Ta-doo! Vegetable oil, guys, okay? Doesn't have to be anything crazy. It is not that big of a deal. You don't gotta go crazy expensive. You just have to have fun with it. And you have to make it your own. That's also a key. Making stuff your own, not using what everyone else does. Because the power in your mind is going to tell you what you need to put in your bottles. Okay? So, you're going to need some type of bottle. It can be an amber one. I just grabbed a clear one so you can see what it looks like. It doesn't matter. You can put crystals in it if you like. I love putting crystals in here. Probably for a wealth one. Now, I know there are a few, like Gina, that does not like pyrite. But pyrite would be a fantastic one to put in something like this because it does represent wealth and prosperity. It also does give that look of gold. But you can also use, I'm going to give you a little secret. You can also use those gold flakes that you put on cakes that are edible. And you can get them at Walmart. You can get that, rake it off, throw it in there. It represents gold. Yes, it does. And there are a lot of very well-known practitioners that sell their oils for stupid money, and I'm saying like in the hundreds of dollars, that use gold fake flakes from Walmart. And it's funny because as a practitioner, you know and recognize like, hey, wait a minute, that's not real gold. Those are fake flakes. I know that because I have them and I use them because I like using them because they do give you that aesthetic of gold. Gina says, I have 24 karat gold leaf I use for stuff. See? And if you have something like that, it's totally okay. You make it yours. You use whatever you want. You want to use gold shavings, you use gold shavings. You want to use silver shavings, use silver shavings. Silver pieces, it still represents the wealth aspect. So you can do whatever you want. So adding crystals or anything like that, I say 100% go for it. Make it yours. So you will need a bottle. Then, because whatever I'm using to charge it, which in my case, I'm using dragons, which we already established this, is I'm going to have some type of guardian in some form. I use the Asian style dragons in this case because they are huge also for the prosperity aspect of it and wealth. And since we're going into the Chinese New Year's coming up here in February, this would be the perfect one because we're going into the Year of the Dragon, which you've heard me say many times before. So I utilize the Asian style dragons in this form for this. But if you want to work with other dragons, you can use any style dragons. It totally works. But there are other deities that are really great for prosperity if you are into demonology. Memon is a fantastic one also. Belcevor is great if you're using alchemy to help, because alchemy uses a lot of symbolism and form of sigils that you can use to amp it up also. Trying to think. But there are other gods and deities, you know, just depends on what culture you're looking at and who you want to utilize and ask and request to amp and boost it. Now, when I say charging, I personally charge it afterwards. So I will create it and then I will set it, which you can't see because it's all the way on that side of my room. But I actually have a form of charging station, I guess you can call it. But it is formed to be able to put whatever I need to help charge it, whether it's crystals, whether it's deities, whether it's mythological creatures, whatever I need. And it charges there because of where the moon hits it when I have a form of moon. Whether it's new moon, full moon, waxing crescent, all that fun stuff, okay? So keep that in mind. I charge afterwards, but you can charge it whenever you want. I don't really care. You shouldn't either. Oh, don't worry. Mica powder would work fine too. Oh yeah. And like I said, there's different types of crystals you can always have setting around. If you just think a really pretty crystal looks really good and it kind of like makes it feel lucky to you, like it's your lucky stone. There you go. Add it or put it next to the bottle that you're using. Jade is a fantastic crystal also to have around you when you're charging it, because jade, especially yellow jade and the original green jade, is huge in Asian culture when you used for prosperity, form of wealth, royalty, dynasty form in this case. So that's also really good too if you want to use jade. And I love jade. I'm obsessed with jade. It's like my newest obsession. Well, not newest, but newest in the last year obsession. So my collection is slowly getting there, but I'm not there yet. I will own a piece of authentic jade soon. But there's so many different types of jade, and I'm trying to collect them all because I love it that much, and I like to put it with my Buddha, so it works. Anyways, let me go off sidetrack here. Okay, so what we're going to do is, you have your bottle. I'm going to move the camera so you can see what I'm doing, and then we're going to make our little crazy mess, because that's what I do. I make a mess when I make stuff all the time. So there we go. So, alright. Y'all can see, right? Alright, cool. So, you got your bottle. Nothing fancy or crazy, just a regular clear bottle. You can see it. I have everything kind of already portioned out. I have my ginger, I have my cinnamon, I have my chamomile. Then in this one, I have my honeysuckle, and then I have calendula and actual flower form already still attached. So, and my lighting is really bad, so I do apologize if it looks a little crazy. So what I'm going to do is, I always like to start with like the chunk pieces. So like the cinnamon in my case, because my cinnamon is actually like chunky, and I will literally put it at the base. And again, anytime we make anything, you choose how much to put in it. No one else can tell you how much cinnamon to put in. Oh, put in 3 pieces of this, 3 pieces of that. No, forget that. Put in what you want. But as you're doing it, remember the intent you're trying to make it in. So in our case, I really want this to be more luck-oriented and prosperity-oriented, not so much wealth. Because I didn't grab anything gold that I want to put in it. But if you have gold pieces, or you have anything that you could represent more of a wealth, do it. And the reason why I say that is because one day I do want to give you guys, like, pure wealth, but it's a ritual. It's going to be huge ritual form when we make it. Under candles, it has to be on a new moon night, and it has to be charged as an actual ceremonial ritual. So I'm not going to actually do that. So this is more of a luck. This is going to help you boost your luck, whether it's with your business, whether it's with your schooling, whether it's with your spiritual workings. You can use it however you want. I do everything spiritual. That's just how I am. So my luck is me just being able to get my butt back into my zone from the holiday craziness. So I have a little bit of cinnamon. As you can see, I didn't put too much cinnamon in, just a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some ginger. And I like ginger when it comes to this stuff. So a little bit of ginger. And then I'm going to put my chamomile. I'm thinking that's enough for me. But again, add as much as you want. And the reason why I say that's enough for me is because I want to add a little bit more honeysuckle. Here's my honeysuckle. And I want to put more honeysuckle in here instead. Look at me trying to do this up. You can see it more. There's just something about this honeysuckle I just really, really like. So I'm putting more of that in. Then I have my calendula. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking a whole flower that actually has still buds all attached. And I'm going to attempt, this is the messy part, to keep it as whole as I can. As you can see, I tried my hardest to keep it as whole. And then I'm going to take this one that has the actual flowers, and I'm going to actually peel the yellow part off and put it inside. And that's going to be my gold representation. Okay. So this is what I have. And I'll take a picture of it after so you can actually see in better lighting than what I have right now. But that is what I have. Okay. Now, you can add essential oils. Okay, that's another thing. If you want to put some drops of essential oils, please do so. Let me see if I want to add any essential oils. I'm just looking right now like, oh, what looks good? And again, I'm not going off of anything amazing. Where is that? Come back. You know what? Kathy made me an oil. And it's called, well, as you can tell, I use it a lot, but it's called Ritual Oil. Base Ritual Oil to help boost stuff. So guess what? We're going to add a couple drops. Why? Because we can. So I'm taking her oil, and yes, guys, you can do this. Someone else's oil into your oil. And I'm going to put 6 drops. Why? Because the number 6 is one of my favorite numbers. And I can do that. Okay? Then I will take a funnel and this, voila. Now what I'm going to do here, because just in case I spill it, as I have this charging plate to be safe. Because I will cry if I get it all over my table, because I can't, you know, pay attention to nothing. And fill it. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. Okay. And this is the part where, like, you know, I'm a messy person, because I always think I can fill it better a certain way. And I'm glad I did, because look, I made a mess, but I don't care, because I'm a messy person, guys. So, that is what it looks like with the oil. Very pretty. I wish you can see how gold it is. I will take a picture after, because it is very gold. But nothing crazy, nothing fancy. So then, after you're done with that, you can charge it. Let me bring it back up to see me. So then, you can charge it afterwards. I'll have it sit. 6 days looks good for me. I like 6 days. You can have it sit for as long as you want. You can have it sit for a whole month. Some people have it sit on top of a sigil. Some people have it sit with a crystal grid, if you're into crystal grids. It really truly doesn't matter. Just know that when you go to use it and you anoint a candle, or you put it in say an herbal blend, because you're going to burn it with a piece of paper, whatever your reason intent is, you can do that. Put it in when you need it. Use it when you need it. If you need a little bit of fast luck, use it as a fast luck. If you need it to bring more prosperity into your life, then use it for that. Like I said, I didn't add anything that really heavily represents the wealth, but the wealth is still there if you so choose. Mine, I flip-flop. In this case, I want it for luck. I need more luck. I have wealth potions. I make my own. Dragus Gold is my huge wealth potion one. And that works fantastic for me because it has gold in it. This is more of a luck base, and it's totally fine, because I'm going to use it when I need to, and for whatever purpose you really want it to be. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions with that? Nothing crazy. The biggest reason why I chose to do this for tonight is because I've seen so many newer witches, or witches that do more research than working with their hands, and they always say the same thing. You know, I have to have this herb because it represents this. I have to have this crystal because it represents this. Or I have to follow the instructions to a T. No, you don't. No. I'm so over hearing you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. You don't have to do shit if you don't want to. In my world, that's how I was first led. You know, follow this book to the T, write it out. You know, don't deviate. If you deviate, you're going to have threefold back. You're going to have a lot of karma come back, and, you know, it's going to be miserable for you. Listen, I followed the rules. I followed the rules from the very beginning. That actually made it worse for me by following the rules. It took years for me to realize that I don't have to do nothing that everyone else does. I don't have to follow a book either. I could do whatever I want. And I'm powerful at it. And I didn't just get that way overnight, so don't get me wrong. I was the newer witch that did everything, afraid karma would come bite me back in the butt. But what the best thing was is I had those people that kind of looked at me like, why are you doing that? Why don't you just do it your way? I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, though. I have to follow someone's path. I have to do exactly what they say because I don't know what I'm doing. I can't just, if I just put a bunch of stuff in there in that, burning bowl and then I burn it and catch everything on fire, if my intent isn't like perfect and to the T and I don't say the right things and do it the right way and the proper steps that it's supposed to be, something could happen. And she looked at me. She's like, who told you that? I was like, oh, and then I thought about it. I'm like, who did tell me that? Some books that I read that says, rituals have to be performed a certain way? Or was it, those witches that thought they knew everything gatekeeping wise and you had to follow it this way or else? Well, guess what? I like or else. Why do I like or else? Well, try me. I dare you. I've taken on that motto. That motto works for me. It doesn't always work for everyone else. I like a challenge, and I like to see if I can do it, and if I can make it, and if it works. You know what I mean? If I don't experiment, now this is where the alchemy in me comes in, is if I don't experiment and try it and see if it works for me, how am I ever going to know that it works? If I always say, I'm going to try it, but don't try it, I'm just talking. And I'm just playing the part. But it's when you start doing it and finding your magic and finding exactly what fits you and getting the energy and the sign saying, hey, you got this. That's what magic really is about. It's not about a book. You can read a million things online and it can tell you a million things, but when you meditate into stuff, is a great example, you're not going to see what everyone else sees, right? When you learn about a deity, my perspective of the deity and how I work with them isn't going to be the same way as yours. I guarantee that. How deities come to you isn't going to be the same way a deity comes to me. Something that people just don't feel the need to relay to newer witches, or even as a reminder to us witches have been practicing for decades. It's not about what's written. And I guess that might be why I'm holding back on ever writing a book, is because it's just my path and how I came to be and how I do everything. But no one else is going to be like me. I'm very unique. But guess what? Every single one watching this right now, all 13 of you are also extremely unique and cannot be duplicated. Your magic cannot be duplicated, and nor do you want it to be duplicated. In your past lives, you didn't follow the exact same paths as you are right now. Why? Because you're a little bit different. Lucas. You had, no you didn't. Put it away, please. Always getting into something. Let me read these comments real quick. Because I know I was rambling. Totally rambling. Citrine would be another good one. Yes, quartz. You have some jade from Yellowstone River? Okay, don't make me jealous, please. As a new witch, I appreciate this so much. It is easy to get buried by that you have to do it perfectly. I agree. That worked immediate for the intent use. I used it on Drago oil. Exactly. And Rachel knows well. I can make anything you want. But it's not always going to be the same. It's not. It's never going to be the same as far as how you feel or what you vibe you get from it or the energy that's going to just radiate from it. It's all about you. I like Jody. Rules are meant to be broken. Yes. Every single time they're meant to be broken. In witchcraft. What are you trying to get? Yes, you may. That doesn't mean eat the whole bag, please. I'm just saying. I know you, man. we have to remember that wasn't how the old witches did it. They went by experimenting with what they had. Yes. And it's exactly it, too, because nothing was actually written in a book back in the day, which is a perfect thing to bring up. I appreciate that, Jennifer. Nothing was ever written. It took many years before someone said, hey, let me write this down. Let me write this recipe down or something. But every single recipe was never the same. Now, I might, back in the day, they were probably like, if you take this herb and grind it together and mixed it with this type of paste and then put it on a wound, it'll help keep it disinfected, or it would be an antibiotic. They have did that, but everything was usually word of mouth. And then someone might have been, well, if you also add this on top of that and do the same thing, and just everyone has their own preferences medicinally and stuff, and it's the same thing spiritually. What can I use to connect with this? What can I use to connect with that? What can I use to get called to that? Some people are just naturally where they don't need to do any type of oil, potions, tinctures, anything like that, and they just got it. They just got it. I already know I'm a witch, and I brew. I brew everything. I burn everything. It's just what I am. It's just who I love to, be part of. Don't be afraid at all to experiment. And some people aren't into alchemy. And alchemy is new to me, so don't get me wrong. But I always experimented, which was funny because that's when I realized, hey, I was actually doing a form of alchemy where I experiment to find what makes it right for me. Because it's all an experimentation. Take a little bit of this, add it that. I mean, if you really think about it, blending tea, making tea is an experiment. I just like calling it brewing and blending and being magical and being awesome and, being able to help people where I can magically. Some people make it medicinally. It works all the same. Hey, mama. But I want everyone from beginner witches to immediate to advanced and anywhere in between. Don't take things exactly as they say in these beautiful books here, okay? Don't take all these for 100% granted, like, yes, what these say is exactly what we gotta do. No, if you don't want to do it on a new moon, don't do it on a new moon. If you want to do it on a full moon, do it on a full moon. If you don't give a crap what time of day it is, then you do your thing, okay? But you have fun with it, and you make it yours. And you keep making it yours. And you have that confidence in what you do and know that you got this. Okay? Don't second guess yourself. That's where a lot of us get into stuff and get a lot of backlash, is when we start second guessing ourselves and doubting our abilities. Everyone was born with magic. It just depends on how much magic you were born with and if you are able to tap into it and continue on with it. Some people are manipulated and changed to believe other things, and that is what they so choose. And that is perfectly fine. Maybe in this life they weren't meant to be magical. Some of us, everyone on here, we followed that path. We heard the call. We felt that vibe. We understand that we need to be where we need to be. Don't take it for granted, because in your next life you might not have that option. So take it here, keep it here, utilize it to your advantage. Don't let it sit on the back burner. And I've noticed that from the people in our group, to people in my clans, to the other clans, to Where Witches Roam and Witches Owl Exchange, in my letters, I've been seeing it more and more and more. I didn't have time, or, I had to put it on the back burner, something else came up, or I'm too busy with work and school. Find the time somewhere. Just a little bit of time, 5 minutes of your day. Make a cup of tea, make a cup of coffee, grind your own coffee. That's just as magical as brewing tea, guys. Make an oil, put an oil on your skin, wear a crystal, wear a pretty head, attire, wear pretty things that represent who you are magically. Put on that makeup that you made yourself, your own lipstick that you grinded and made your own too. Wear the clothes. Be awesome, okay? That's all it is. Find the time a little bit every single day, and you will believe how things are going to just radiate from you, and how people were going to pull to you and start asking questions and, going, wow, I really feel I feel everything. Like, you're amazing, your confidence and just the energy coming from you. Like, I need to know more. How do you do it? And then you are a bridge for someone else. And now you're opening up that realm to someone else, all because you believed in yourself and you were able to be the person you were always meant to be, and you were born in this world to be, and this realm and in this life to be who you are. Don't put things on the back burner. And I know it's so hard to do because it's hard for me. I do too much stuff. I'm busy all the time. But I bet you I make sure I have that cup of tea a day. I guarantee you I make oils constantly. I guarantee you I have multiple crystals in my purse that go with me almost everywhere. I guarantee when I walk into work, I'm not thinking about what I have to deal with as soon as I get in there. I think about other things. I think about, Morgan, help me get through this day. Help me get through any fight that comes my way. Whether it's with staff, whether it's with who I have to deal with on the outside, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a coach I got to deal with, for my son's basketball, but just the little things. And it's thinking about the magic and thinking about how you're protected and how they're next to you when you're driving in a car, or how your car is magical to you because it is the thing that gets you to and from where you need to go safely. Everything in your mind should be thinking of magic, 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 magic. Power, 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 power. Energy. This has energy. That has energy. This has energy. I'm radiating from this. I'm pulling from that. I'm going from there. I'm going there with that. That's what we need to keep doing. We can't put stuff on the back burner anymore. This is a new year, guys, and it could have started off bad for you already. You're the only one that's going to change it. Staying in the past isn't doing anything for you. And yes, it's hard, and it's always going to be hard, and anyone can sit there and be like, oh, don't be in that past. You're right. But I'm asking you, take the step forward and move on to 2024. Take your power back for anyone that tried to get it from you. Anyone that tried to use you, anyone that tried to manipulate you, anyone that just didn't care enough to give you the center of attention. Because guess what? That's fine. Let them do that. Because you're going to do your own thing. You're going to be magical because you're going to be able to manifest everything you need to manifest in this world. You're going to do it this year. You know why? Because we have a whole entire community behind us. We're going to learn from each other all year. We're going to learn from each other. We're going to add little bits into our little box of magic, and we're going to keep building. And then we're going to pass it on to the next generations as they come. Anyone that comes in the groups, anyone that you meet outside, anyone that you go to coven meetings, tea parties with, your own shop that you just up and created and made awesome into a community that it was all about the money for a different job. You're meant to be a bridge. So that's what we're going to do this year. We're going to learn as much as we can from each other. And we're going to bridge to help others that need us to be awesome and powerful and confident and not be afraid to be who we are always meant to be. Because I'm tired of us always having to hide. And yes, I know some of us have to hide still. But I'm tired of us having to feel here that we have to hide. We don't have to tell the world what we are and who we are. They don't need to know that. But in your own body and in your own mind, you need to know who you are. And if you can't admit to that, you're never going to be able to progress and ascend to your next level of power. We don't want to stay in the back, in the past. No, we want to level up. We don't ever want to be a base. No, we don't want to stay a beginner forever. We want to advance. So then down the road, when the next generation comes looking for advice, page to 396, please. Let's see what we got. Let's learn. That's where we want to be. That's what we're going to do. Don't you agree? Let me get caught up. Learning, waiting, following, corresponding, sending money on ingredients are ways to focus your intent and swim with the current. Ooh, I like that current. Doing things is also a good way to focus. Ooh, yes. Seriously, love your lives. It's all about the pep talk, guys. It's all about the pep talk. Um, and I don't want to sound like that type of witch, but someone has to say it, you know? Someone has to be the one that's like, hey, enough is enough. Like, enough is enough. And we've had the groups for, 4 years now? And I've seen all levels. And I've conversed with so many people. So many. Hundreds of people. And it's always the same thing on some of it. And I don't want everyone to be stuck and just not able to push forward. So I want us to push forward. And something as little as creating the luck to something as magical as working within your energy. So find something that interests you. Even if it's just working with energy and figuring out manipulation of the energy. See what you get. Seriously. You're going to be surprised what's actually out there based on what culture you're interested in or what culture you hone with. Magic is everywhere, in every culture, which just means that it's real if every culture has their own adaptation to it, right? So on that note, I will end this live. I'm gonna go drink my cup of tea that I have left, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the night. And know, I just know, that you and I all connected well tonight. And that this is your guys' next step into being awesome and being more powerful than you were last year and the year before and the year before. I can't wait to see what you guys got. So, until the next live, guys, have fun. Keep doing your thing. Don't stay behind. We're only going forward now. Namaste.